hard. I thought we played well and played a complete game, more of a complete game after our game against Utah State. So I think the last two outings we're gaining momentum. I think we're playing better and better each week. And after our third win in a row with more and more positive things, I think, to see not only through our offense but our return game and our defense. I think we're just gaining momentum. Really good to have Spencer Hadley back with us today. Great to see Lenny Fua. I thought that was a huge play to have a little breathing room. The game was kind of a defensive struggle in the second half for a long time, and Lenny's interception was huge. And I thought Taysom played really, really well. Great decisions, accurate throwing, did a nice job with his legs. And Justin Sorensen, after the celebration penalty to kick the ball over their heads was a remarkable thing. That was a great play also. So I'm encouraged. I like our team.
Coach, can you talk about the fourth quarter defense? You had one series where Kyle Van Noy gets the 10-yard sack. Next series, Alana gets their interception. Next series, Spencer Hadley gets the fumble. How big was the defense for
our outside linebackers are really, really talented. And when Georgia Tech got behind in the chains and behind in the count, in terms of down and distance, it became easier to send pressure. And when you have those guys to be able to go after the quarterback, it makes a huge difference.
Do you remember a time, Coach, wherever in your coaching career, where your defense scored points in 3 straight games?
I don't and didn't. And in fact, it's nice that you brought that up. I'm coaching some really talented players, and man, they work really hard, and so it's just fun, really fun. And man, I have to say that the amount of how hard this team is working is really showing in how they play. And Georgia Tech is a difficult opponent, to not only scheme but to win, to beat. And I'm proud of our team, and I like our chances.
Bronco, were you aware on the sideline of where Cody Hoffman was with his catch numbers and where he finished the night?
No, I don't. I'm not even aware now. What were his catch numbers?
Tied the record. He's one shy of breaking it.
Awesome. Well, he's a really, really good player, and it's good to have him back as well now with some practices and some consistency under his belt. And ideally, when you have Mitch playing the way that he can play and Cody playing the way he can play, and then you add J.D. Fosslett in there, and then you start adding Brett Thompson and Ross, then eventually we can be pretty dynamic. And I think you saw, at least, especially the first half, I think that's what you saw. And then you had Jamal and Taysom. It starts to look pretty good.
Coach, can you talk more about Spencer Hadley, what he means to the defense to have him out there? And
he's experienced, he's tough, he's a good leader, he's athletic, and he cares a lot. And he plays with his heart. And so it was just, it was great to have a phone call on Wednesday from our athletic director and from the university saying that he's met all of his obligations and they lifted their suspension early. And it's a celebration and been a tribute to him. My criteria that I had for him was different than universities, and he had met those as well, so he practiced on Wednesday.
He was using a different capacity. You didn't use him at Bucky, you used him at outside linebacker. What were the reasons?
We were in the middle of option preparation. We already had 2 practices under our belt. We didn't want to switch people because it's hard to learn even one spot against the option, let alone 2. And so we thought that would be the best spot for him.
Overall, what's your critique of the way your defense played? They scored 400 yards, got some late in garbage time, but just overall, are you as pleased as you were a year ago?
I think we played well, and I gauge it a lot by points, and I thought we, with the exception of the last touchdown, 38-13, we go pretty good, and I thought we had a really nice plan, and they're a good team, so I thought they were better. It took me a little bit as a play caller to really get a sense for what they were capable of on 3rd down, and and that we obviously dialed in a lot better the second half on that. So it took a little bit of time. That was on me, not our players, to kind of give an idea of what they were going to do third down wise.
Bronco, could you elaborate on that sack that Kyle got that knocked them 10 yards back? They missed the field goal. And what did you guys see on that particular
Well,
play?
it was just happened to number one guess right on the call, and he executed it right on. And they ran play action into 5-man pressure, and when you have single blocking, so play action takes a little bit longer, and so it's harder for the linemen or running backs in terms of their angles to pick up an edge blitzer, and that's what we had. So we had pressure versus play action, which is hard for an offense. And Kyle was on him, I think, before he knew what happened to him.
Is that a play that would have been open for a lot of linebackers, or what advantages did Kyle with that?
It's just faster. I mean, he's just a better player. I mean, you know, the other guys might have been a step off, or the ball might have gotten off. I mean, the quarterback didn't even have a chance to really set up, and so he's just really good.
Blake Morgan had to play almost the entire game with
Yeah.
free safety. Can you comment on that?
He was just holding on for dear life. The option is difficult, and so he was behind some wheel routes and a step or two slow off the alley and just fighting as hard as he could to stay in there. Craig Bills got concussion early in, first or second series, I think. And so Blake battled as hard as he could, and he played well enough for us to have a convincing win.
Monomaluna was used sparingly after being helped off the field. What's his?
Don't know.
As far as the difference between the first half and the second half, the entire game seemed very different from that second quarter to that third quarter. Was that just halftime adjustments on both sides?
I think so. And I thought we did a nice job adjusting and stopping completely what they were doing offensively. And conversely, they did a nice job also. A lot more pressure, a lot more man coverage, a lot more aggressive is what they chose to do.
Going back to the first half, looking at how Taysom started, he completed his first 8 passes, and it was 16 of 20 passing in the first half. How big was that for his confidence in generating momentum of offense that he was able to get the passing game going?
Taysom's confident already. There's no issues with his confidence nor our confidence in it. It's just great to see the team excited to see points go on the board as frequently and as fast as they were going. We looked really good the first half offensively.
Cody Hoffman's made some great catches in his career, but that one being dragged down, horse collared from behind, that was a pretty good catch.
Pretty amazing. And just a sign of what he's capable of. And at the midway point, 4-2, gaining momentum with Spencer, Cody, Taysom, all gaining momentum, having Kyle and Alani and others contributing. I like the direction we're going.
Coach, you had 3 guys, double-digit tackles. Is that what you expect from an option type of game?
So last year we played 48 total plays, so I'm not sure how many we played tonight. I guess it'd be almost double, probably a little under would be my guess. And when that starts happening, you get a lot of guys tackling.
Do you give any thought to how your opponents on a schedule fare over their season? I ask because Texas defeated a ranked Oklahoma team, Utah defeated a ranked Stanford team.
Sure. We're a good team, and we played some good opponents. And probably excluding our first game and trying to gauge where our team was and having the game won, but I think we're playing well. And the opponents that we're playing, I think, are strong. I think Texas was and is very talented, and even more so when Ash, the other quarterback, was playing. And our game against Utah was hard fought, and they're 2 good teams playing toe-to-toe. So I'm not surprised by those results.
Bronco, you mentioned the midway point of the season. As a head coach, where have you seen this team take the biggest steps as a whole?
I think offensive production, execution, and chemistry. I think that's clearly where we're gaining the most ground.
Okay.
Bronco, there was a lot of talk a couple months ago about the uniforms. What was it like for you to have them, see the guys out there wearing them today?
You know, there was so much talk before that it was anticlimactic. I could say a lot of things right now, but I don't know what the big deal was. I really don't. And it was just, that's who we are, and it was just it made me smile that the Comet didn't crash onto the stadium that we wore or something. You know,
Okay.
I probably should stop there.